welcome to another video with me, Bailey. This is Cosmos with Bailey. I am a clairvoyant psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand, and today's video is going to be a little bit different in that I'm going to bring up some diagrams and I'm going to talk a little bit about human design and soul blueprints, and also things that create filters or density over our natural intuitive channel to the higher realms. So I've been sitting on some information for a while when it's come to things like human design and blueprints, and this is not a video that is here to degrade human design or anyone that does human design. It is simply a higher, more vast perspective on what happens, and I'm using human design as an example as to what happens when we choose to go and put ourselves into energetic programs. As everything is made up of energy, what we are choosing to work with, we are working within our energy field and with our natural channel. So yeah, and as I said, I'm just using human design as a example of this, and also working as a psychic and a healer. I have seen in a few clients what can happen when we maybe ingest spiritual information or do such things as spiritual programs like human design, and how this can affect our natural channel and flow with the cosmos and with source energy. So, around about now on this earth, we are moving into higher realms, and it is time for us to start letting go of density. And it's very, very important right now that you do not subscribe or connect in or tune into density, because it's going to create havoc on your natural energy field, and you're going to get confused about what you're doing and where you're going naturally. Essentially, what I work with is that the only thing you really need is your intuition and your soul and your intuition and your own energy to navigate and guide you in your connection with the higher realms. In higher realms, you do not need tools telling you what your soul is and how it operates. When we are embodied in the soul and connected into the higher realms, and we are working with life force, we know who we are, and we don't need to be governed or dictated by a program. I'm also very discerning with other readers and intuitives as well. And I question how someone else could know more about my soul than I do myself. That for me, it does not work for me. And it feels very, very limited, because I don't know where that person's consciousness is sitting and how tuned in they are to the higher realms. So, therefore, me working as a psychic and an intuitive and a healer, I am highly discerning about where I go to for my spiritual information and spiritual guidance if I am needing some. And you should too. Everyone should be discerning about where they're going for a spiritual helping hand, because we are all operating in different levels and realms of density. You don't know what an intuitive is in the energy field. You don't know how trained or initiated they are to be doing that work. Therefore, it's very highly important that you are discerning, because you do not want to create density in your field or take on information from this other intuitive that's actually going to confuse you. And if you don't have a really, really strong sense of self, of your light, and of your soul, you could take on someone else's quote unquote intuitive information and make it a part of your journey when it wasn't really aligned with who you are on a soul level in the first place. So, with this diagram here, what I've got is I've got someone I've got the yellow person and then the grey person. And I've just used this as a very basic example of energy, dense or heavy energy in the grey, light and joyous energy in the light. And one is not better than the other. It is simply a different expression of energy in a different realm. So the dense or heavy energy is operating in a quote unquote lower realm. And then in the higher realm, you've got higher, lighter, easier, more flowy energies. In denser or heavy energy, it is very, very harsh and hard, and there's a lot of suffering and trauma, and things feel really, really dense. So We are all capable of moving out of density and into higher realms of source and intuitive connection. This is why I'm so adamant that the only thing you really need is your source connection and your own intuition. And that should be your number one source of guidance, with your higher realm guidance and supporting from the spiritual realms. We all have guides. So therefore, you've got to be super discerning about who you're going to for guidance, and if they are themselves in a very, very high state of intuitive flow. Okay, and you don't know how open that person's channel is. You don't know how where that they are experiencing their energies, and how open and streamlined and trained they are to be bringing down information. Okay, so I'm just going to talk yeah, so we've got dense and heavy energy and light energy. So now I'm going to move on to the next diagram here, and I'm going to explain to you what things like human design or soul blueprints or anything of the sort will do to your channel. And I've seen this happen firsthand because I've been working with my own programs that I've channeled down and formulated myself, and I am very, very discerning, and I will put clients through um, a cleansing and removal of filtering of their channel, because a lot of my services are working with getting that person highly connected and working on their own 2 feet. Um, and you don't want to make someone reliant on you. You know what I mean? So what and also, what was I going to say here? I've also had a few clients come through for psychic medium readings and healings, and we've had to clear out channeled information that they've ingested because it's created fear, chaos, and disturbance in their energy field, and it was hindering them from fully connecting with source, love, and light in their physical body. So for that, before I jump into human design and stuff like that, I'm just going to say you want to be very, very discerning with the channeled information that you're ingesting, because it can create density and confusion in you. You don't want to go ingesting any type of spiritual information that's not in alignment with the higher realms. And because we're moving into a new planetary era here, you want to make sure you're aligning to higher realm guidance or someone who's channeling from the higher realms, not from someone who is quote unquote channeling or working with spiritual energies from the old world third dimensional consciousness or old world consciousness, because that is going to confuse you and create density in you. So anything that's been created prior to, I'd say, the last year, or in the 1990s or 2000, that's been channeled down, depending on the soul, I'd say it'd be very, very rare that someone was actually coming from straight source consciousness. Very fair in between. So please be discerning with intuitives and spiritual information that you're ingesting and how that is affecting your energy body. If you're listening to stuff online or reading spiritual information or spiritual books and it feels heavy and dense and unaligned, please stop reading it and clear out your energy field. Okay, let's jump into human design and things like soul blueprints. So I've had my own experiences with this, and along a few years ago, I tried a soul blueprint and I found it incredibly limiting on my soul essence, and I could not understand how somebody could just box my soul into a series of words or a list of words. It was very, very limiting for me. I was already highly intuitive, and therefore it created density and limitation in my earthly realm experience, because I was trying to apply my soul to the energies of this blueprint, and it wasn't fitting me. So just because something works for someone else, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. And if it doesn't fit, or it feels like it's limited you or put you into a box, you're going to struggle with your natural intuitive flow and freedom and flow with your soul essence and your connection to the higher realms. Okay, now, what I've got here on the left-hand side with the density and confusion, and then on the right-hand side here is the right-hand side with the light and joyous energy. If you take a look, we have source and higher guidance information streaming through the higher realms into your crown chakra and into your energy body and earthly experience. We're all capable of having this. And then I have this filter here, almost like a net, which is what I will call something like a human design or a soul blueprint or a type of energetic program that someone's put together. You must be very mindful that any intuitive services that someone has put together is being made up and created from that person's consciousness and density in which they are experiencing themselves in. So the net here is, yeah, like a human design type of thing. And this is what I've seen happen working with as a psychic. And the energy flows through from the higher realms and your higher self. Then the filter or the net, your intuitive information gets caught almost in the filter. And then you may not be receiving stuff in a natural intuitive flow. You'll be receiving stuff. And then if you just move to the second diagram, the density and confusion, the intuitive information comes through the net and comes through in almost like dense bits and pieces. I think this is the best way to describe it. And then it comes through into the crown chakra, which is where you receive your intuitive information first, and then it filters in through your energy body and your light body. But it's coming through in these bits and pieces because the filter of that energetic program or human design or soul blueprint or whatever it is has created density over your channel or a filter. This is not bad. I'm not saying anything like these things are bad for you, but it is a discernment. And it can create confusion and chaos in what was previously to that a very natural and fine-tuned intuitive channel. And so we've got these brown pieces here, and then your crown chakra, and then it's going to, they're going to connect in through the crown chakra, and it's going to be completely fragmented. And you're going to find it really hard to create with those intuitive impulses. So if we just go back to the original diagram here that I've got for straight channel, what happens if we look on the right with the higher realm guidance source intuitive connection channel, light and joyous energy. When we receive intuitive information from our higher self, it streams down this clear channel into our crown chakra, and then it enters into our earthly body and our energy body and our light body in a really clear and clarified way. There's no filter. The energy doesn't get made into denser bits of energy that we find hard to understand or apply. When the channel is nice and clean and clear and the intuitive information is streaming, it works and flows into the energy body and the chakra system in a really nice and flowy and streamlined way. And then you feel really connected to yourself and you feel like you know where you're going. And I've seen, now that we just move back to the other diagram that I had, I've seen here with the density and confusion that it's not streamlined, and it's almost like the energy is fragmented, the intuitive information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a type of meditation that you can buy to clear your filter, your channel filter, and get clear and clarified and streamlined again. This doesn't just stand for human design. There's many things out there that have been created out of the old world planetary consciousness that are being used. They're not bad. They're just a different expression of energy. But around about now, it's very important for us to start evolving out of the need and just rely on our own intuitive channel and flow and get really comfortable in connecting to ourselves and ourselves first and foremost. So I'm going to put together a type of meditation or clearing or cleansing of your channel and removal of filters or anything else that's been created so your channel can be clean and clear again. You can purchase this meditation in my Etsy shop. I don't have a shop open just yet with a website, but that will be coming very shortly. In the meantime, you can purchase it in my Etsy shop and it will come with written notes and information for you. Okay, I hope there was a very clear understanding of your channel and what can happen with filters and energetic programs that will maybe create density, confusion, and chaos in your natural channel, and how the information comes through in a more denser or fragmented way and is harder to work with, and creates a lot of confusion. And really, you just want to work with your chakra and your channel and receive that information really naturally and really gracefully, and just be a little bit more discerning with stuff that's going on out there. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and I hope that was helpful.